Good afternoon, I'm Jeffery Snipes with the CMSD News Bureau, and we are here at the Great Lakes Science Center in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the 24th annual Rock Your World with STEAM Festival. It is going on now until 3 p.m. So come on down and see all the great things that CMSD students have to offer when it comes to arts, engineering, robotics, and more. So joining me now is Jeffery Allen, the Executive Director of Fine Arts, to talk about how the day's going. It looks like it's been a successful event so far.
I'm over the moon. This has been one of the best events I think we've ever done with this. The enthusiasm and excitement of our scholars, the faces of their parents when they see their kids doing these amazing things. I'm over the moon. This is honestly one of the best things I've ever seen.
And obviously the festival's growing. I mean, even from last year. I mean, just talk about some of the amazing things that demonstrations or celebrations of learning that have happened here today.
Well, I'm going to shout out one that's happening literally right now. I can hear the John Kennedy band playing right now. That band started last year.
Oh wow!
With students who had never picked up an instrument, and to see them back here and to see how much they've grown in a year and the continued growth and enthusiasm. That's why we do what we do. It's so exciting. I saw some amazing robotics experiments. Did you see? We had students who developed a robotic hand for a student who has limited mobility. That's amazing. These are. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, my cell phone is behind me. So it's and actually that's another thing that's a great improvement this year. We have amazing assistance from our partners, Downtown Cleveland Alliance, Great Lakes Science Center, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, all really stepping up to help us do things and make this the best festival we've had.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, can you just talk about how the arts program has really grown? I know a lot of it was after the pandemic and we started with the 0 and 9 periods, but just how that is giving students more opportunities to learn an instrument or do a different type of, art that they might want to have interest in.
Sure, I mean, it's we continue to have our 0 and 9 and our expansion in our K-8 space at every single K-8 building. There are so many things you can call out about where areas we've grown. One of the new ones, we were able to enter into a partnership with Tri-C and with the Cleveland Orchestra and started a program called Crescendo, which takes some of our strings players from multiple schools and gives them an additional after-school experience in that 9 hour to go even deeper in strings. And they played their first concert today. Here at the Rock Hall. We see some rock bands that we've never seen before. We have more visual art at this festival than we've had in the entire time I've been here. So much so that we're talking about we need to give art a much larger space next year. There's a large 3D sculpture made with recyclable materials, so it was connected to a science lesson, and it's adorning our lawn right now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I could go on and talk about this, but I think really the most important thing to talk about is that our kids are proving what we already know, and what I think our city needs to know is our kids do amazing things. And when you give them the time and the tools, they will never let you down.
So, and just, obviously we know, but can you just talk about how, having arts in the schools just really accentuates their academic career?
Of course. The arts, science, all of the subject area are essential just to be a good human being and a good citizen. It's good to know things, and it's good to know a little bit about a lot of things. But the ability to go deep in your passions, and you specifically mentioned the arts, and not only is it good for you as a human being, but I'd like to point out that as an industry, it is a $9.2 billion industry in our region that supports 63,000 jobs. So we're training the next generation of people who are going to take these jobs. The next conductor of the Cleveland Orchestra lives in Glenville today.
Nice.
So, and we need to continue doing what we're doing to make sure that path is clear.
And I know that, a lot of things that have also, exploded, and I've mentioned this before, but the robotics program here at CMSD is just like grown leaps and bounds, with the growing different teams and more teams to come and just winning competitions. I mean, but that's also something that, kids, that's a great skill to have and a great profession if you want to go into that profession.
Certainly, absolutely. And I think another thing that happens when you play an instrument or you build a robot, when you're a kid and you get to do these things and you look at it initially and you think, that's impossible, I can't do that. And some of you did it. I mean, that's like walking through fire. You could do anything. And you did that when you were a teenager. Imagine what you're going to do when you approach those problems. George Lucas's company, Industrial Light and Magic, has a motto that anything's possible. And that's what we see with our kids. I think they honestly take the approach that, okay, maybe this is possible, let's figure it out. And they don't have those preconceived notions that maybe this is impossible. Giving them the tools to explore that and really figure it out and play with it, then we're seeing all of these amazing things.
And also another thing that you might see is that the kids, like with these programs, it gives them motivation to come to school. I mean, yes, we need to learn the core math and English, but they'll come learn that because they know, like, oh, after school or before school or during school, I get to do this fun project.
You're hitting on something that we learned that's data-driven. After the pandemic, families told us loud and clear, kids told us loud and clear, we need more at school. And we don't say get more just because it's a clever tagline. I mean, it is, but it's more than that. We mean it, and that's what that means. Our students recognize that being able to have real-world experiences, to take the learning off the page and into real life, and to actually apply it to real-world problems. Whether that is understanding that the real-world problem is I'm going to perform in an outdoor stage, and we have to make modulations to that, all the way to what we already cited. Somebody needs additional mobility in their arm. How can we use this material and this technology to aid and assist them? It didn't start with we can't do it. It started with oh, interesting, how do we figure that out? That's fantastic examples of taking the learning into the real world. And we see that now every day in our schools. And every teacher who's doing it, every teacher who's doubling down on this is just serving their kids even further.
Wonderful. So next year is the 25th annual.
Yes.
I know, you don't want to think about next year, you just want to get through the next couple of hours, but plans for like anything grand since it's the 25th?
I think for the 25th, we're definitely going to have more stages. We're going to have more. My goal next year is every single school will represent in every area.
And so right now we have, what, 80 of the 100?
About 80 of our schools out of the 100, so we have only 20 more. But we want to make sure that we provide them the opportunity and a year to figure out what they want to bring and say, you need to bring something in each of those areas. And bring it, show it, and just imagine this lovely footprint has worked out really well for us, increasing that footprint across both campuses with our great partners at the Rock Hall and the Great Lakes Science Center.
Well, congratulations on a job well done for this festival. I mean, everyone looks like they're having a great time, so congratulations on that.
Thank you, appreciate that. All praise goes to everybody who's really been doing the nitty-gritty work. So
I understand. So a couple more hours for Rock Your World with SEAM. So if you haven't, or you're thinking about coming, come on down and see exactly what our kids have to offer. If you want free parking, there's free parking at Max Hayes High School and East Professional Center with free shuttle service to and from, a wheelchair accessible shuttle as well. So a couple more hours here. So come on out and check out what our kids have to offer.